Yo internet, welcome back to my channel. Well, a lot of news has come out today, and pretty much I don't feel like making separate videos for them, so I'm just gonna mash them all together in one large video, and then just talk about them, because I think there's only like three stories for me to talk about today. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about those. Right, number one, Shueisha. Shueisha has finally threw its hat into the 2021 overdrawn party of keeping everything interesting by kind of going through Twitter and copyrighting everything, such as GIFs, fan art, official anime music, or anything related to their works and whatnot. So I know the question in which everyone's asking is which IPs are they actually striking? Well, I have a list here. And that list starts out with One Piece, Bleach, Jujutsu Kaisen, Haikyuu, Haikyuu, Food Wars, Dr. Stone, Psyche K, Demon Slayer, Death Note, Kuroko's Basketball, My Hero, Naruto, Boruto, Dragon Ball, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Black Clover, Phantom Seer, The Promised Neverland, Orange, Ruby, Ace Attorney, Assassination Classroom, Chainsaw Man, Hunter x Hunter, One Punch Man, Warrior No Seraph, anything Yu-Gi-Oh, and a whole lot more. This is getting crazy because not too long ago, I also remember, I think it was yesterday or could have been 2 days ago, but Capcom put out a brand new statement in terms of how you had to carry yourself when you were using a lot of their IPs or using their music on YouTube and whatnot, in terms of what you can monetize and what you can't monetize. But I know why that went down. It was because someone hacked into their thing and took that terabyte full of hidden data. So I can understand that. This, on the other hand, I feel like that this is mostly just because some people kind of have been dropping scans early, and because they did that, they just messed it up for everybody, and they kind of just went overboard to the point to where you're now striking your own employees, and even Akira Toriyama. At this point, I don't even know what they're doing. But as far as what I know, Shueisha, you guys are, oh my god, they are trying to kill the whole community. Now, the funny thing is that actually some people are actually fighting back and whatnot, and that they're just posting all Dragon Ball memes and everything else, just making which I take it like that even if they do get banned, they'll probably just make another account or a brand new email, because you can always make limitless emails and whatnot and just keep posting stuff on Twitter. I mean, it's not like that they can stop you unless they go by your IP address, and they're not doing that. So the war is on, I guess. So now we move on to the next story. In this case, we're talking about Dream. Now, what is going on with Dream? Well, apparently, Dream's problem. Starting this out, if you remember from my video a few days ago, where that I was talking about Dream, and his speedrunning allegations, where that he was just playing Minecraft and was trying to speedrun it, but then modded some of the drop rates and whatnot, and he was being investigated for 2 months by the speedrunning community. And then, he kind of gained a lot of fans from it who really didn't care from it. And honestly, the drama really was more out of fun, rather than, trying, to, get the guy off the internet. However, in the process of that, though, coming into today, we now have, we kind of are now dealing with the whole process of people, or at least the big problem of people constantly trying to dox him and get his personal information out, because I believe right around the YouTube 2020 rewind, he said that he would reveal his face, and he made a joke of it. And now people are slowly starting, to come out by trying to accuse him of certain things, by talking to one of his girlfriends, who went on to basically say that he's a terrible person. He cheated on her with not only one but also 2 girls and whatnot. Well, 1 girl, and then there's a 3rd girl who's also coming out trying to expose him in a sense and whatnot. And of course, Dream had to release a Twit Longer on it. Now, I don't feel like reading this on camera, mostly because I'm a terrible reader, because if you've heard me talk. So, you know, like, this isn't going go well. But I can TLDR it for you. Basically, the whole idea of it was that Dream says that his ex-girlfriend, the one like that kind of started all this, she has mental issues, and basically she has BPD, you know, borderline personality disorder. Like, they dated for a while, she was a good girlfriend, but like when they got together, she got off her medication, and like she started to get abusive and whatnot, and then basically he broke it off with her. However, in the process of her going out meeting new people who so happened to be his fans and whatnot, she would talk mess about him and basically make up stories about him, you know, doing these things here, or at least doing these things here, and whatnot. And he came out to say no, like, that wasn't necessarily true. You know, he doesn't think that she's a terrible person. He doesn't want people to actually like go online and feed her hate. However, in the process of that, he understands like why, man, she did it, and he holds no ill will towards her, and he doesn't want anybody to go out and give her hate, essentially. But people out there who don't like him and are and really want to hurt him are basically using her as a proxy to kind of like speak through her, so that they can hurt him and kind of slander his name and throw dirt on it. But in the process, he's like, hey, like, these people are just using her in order to hurt me. Which, in so many words, I'm not sure if I succinctly like told the whole part right without necessarily reading the Twit Longer. But based on what is happening, though, I'm like, the people who don't like him, this is getting a bit out of hand. But you know, I do understand like why he's doing this, and there's gonna be a little bit of give and take, especially when you're on the internet and you're as big as Dream is, and you know, he has a big fan base. Even if you do tell them to not go after somebody, a few of them, they don't listen, and then they do it anyway, mostly because, hey man, you're attacking my favorite YouTuber for content creator, so you gotta go. So that's how some of them are. But the reality of it is that, you know, he's saying don't do it because I don't want to give her stress, even though she's causing me problems. I don't hate her for it, so just leave her alone, which I understand. But at the same time, though, you do kind of have to ask the question of like, well, if you are doing that, how many people are actually going to listen, and is it right for him to kind of just put her business out there? But then again, these same people are basically using her, knowing that that is her problem, to try and hurt this man and put his personal information out. So it's a slippery. So like, this is a slippery one. But as far as I know, hopefully this can be resolved without too many problems coming up. So that's that story for now. CallMe Carson actually has a way more information coming out for him, since this is my last part of the story. Carson has been a bad boy. Apparently he has been stepping and because he stepped in something and he has tracked it into the house. But apparently what has been going on, well, I didn't say this before. I think I said something about like one of his friends, Schlatt, basically coming out and saying like, hey man, you know, I cut ties with him because he did this and that, and I fed all the information like of him talking to underage girls, when, or at least in this case 17-year-olds, like, at least like when he first told him, like he told his friend, like Carson told Schlatt about the encounter with the girl who was 17, Sam, when she was 17 and he was 19. And basically Schlatt said, hey man, just don't do it again. We'll work through it. But then, you know, he was going through therapy, but then it came out like that he was actually talking to another girl who came out like when she was 17 and illicit photos from her as along with Sam and everything. And then that's when Schlatt cut ties with him, and then he went on to in the Breakfast Club, and then he fed all of his information over to the police. He also thanked the two other members who came out on Drama Alert by basically saying, hey guys, I'm happy like that you did that. My heart goes out to the victims and everything. So, you know, that's kind of what led that to be the thing. Another thing that kind of has came out now, it's by the narrator, another person like who was involved with CallMe Carson, who kind of, I believe he also was doing things before the Breakfast Club came out. like as it seems and whatnot. But he put out a long video called I think it's called my experience with CallMe Carson. And based on a little bit of the information like that I pulled from that, it seems as though is that his encounters were not pleasurable, going so far as to say that Carson, or at least like the big notable one to me, because honestly I didn't watch the whole video yet, and I got a little bit of the information from kind of like where he was coming from with that, and a few red flags kind of stuck out to me, such as, you know, Carson like not necessarily holding up his end of the deal like to make podcasts and whatnot, such as like, yeah man, like we put out one, it's doing well, so when are we going to record another one, and he doesn't get back to the narrator. And then Carson going into the accounts, changing passwords, uploading specific videos or deleting videos, and trying to block the other guys out so like that they can't access the account. And I believe the narrator got in through like a backdoor means to take down some harmful videos and whatnot, or a harmful video that Carson just put up and just didn't want to take down. However, most of this previous information, it comes from Jakob, a person like who was involved with Carson and the narrator and whatnot, to where like that he was putting out a lot of this information on Twitter. But honestly, in the process of all of this though, it just kind of just paints Carson as being like a very terrible friend, to the point to where like that it's like, hey man, you know, I'm about to hijack your thing, and I want to kick you off your own podcast in which that you made, because reasons, you know, because he just wants to hijack it, and you know, ridicules his friends, man, for having panic attacks, and you know, like going through like, you know, normal means of anxiety. A lot of this really doesn't paint Carson like in a good light, but the reality of it is man, like it just gets worse and worse. And honestly, the crazy thing to me, especially, well, I don't believe I said this like in my previous video, but a lot of this, or at least mostly the big reason why CallMe Carson's name is something like that I personally like even know of, is possibly because of the Caterino thing, the thing of her cheating on him with his friend and like 4 other guys. But the reality of it is that when you talk to some of his friends, man, like in the Breakfast Club, they always say like that, well, yo, like they weren't dating. But the reality of it is, to me, or at least like the funny thing to me is why didn't they say something about that at the time, instead of just letting the internet believe like that was his girlfriend? That one's odd. But, well, at least I just had to get that one off my chest. But still, in terms of the narrator thing, I can understand why he didn't say anything, possibly because, again, Carson has bigger influence than him. He has a bigger audience. People are willing to listen to him, and literally the only way like that he could even get his story out was he had to kind of wait for, you know, the tides to change and flow against Carson for him to even say something to kind of like, so that the momentum of his experience can even like, you know, hurt this person. So I get it. 2021 is very interesting, and honestly, man, who knows what tomorrow is going to bring. It's only the 8th. I wonder what the 9th is going to be. Every day is a brand new treasure. But until then, yo, like that is what I got to say about that. I'll catch you guys on the next Jongravesshow. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out.
Человек